All right. Good morning, brothers and sisters. This morning I'm going to start in Psalm 23. I know I put a post up with this verse in it yesterday, but I want to take a look at this verse, Psalm 23, verse 5 and 6, actually. 5 and 6. We're going to look at these verses. I'm going to read them. Plus, I'm going to go to Matthew chapter 7, and we're going to read there for a bit as well. It says, "Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." All right. Let's go over here first, and I'm going to read Matthew chapter 7, and then we're going to go through some words in both these verses. All right, we're going to go to Matthew chapter 7, verses 13 and 14. It says, "Enter ye in at the strait gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because strait is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it." And few there be that find it. All right, we're going to start out, and we're going to go over here, and we're going to see, it says, "Thou," it's talking about God. "The Lord is my shepherd." This is that psalm. "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Thou preparest a table," array, to set in order, to arrange. Isn't this the same word as cosmon or cosmos, orderly arrangement? To arrange or set in order. In definition, it is. "Thou arrangest," prepares a table. Table. We're going to go down here and look at the bottom of this because it's quite interesting. "From shalak, a table, to as spread out. By implication, a meal." Remember, Jesus said, "I have a meat to eat of. And the meat I have to eat of is to do the will of my Father." And Jesus told us, "My flesh is meat indeed." And that word "indeed" means of truth. So my flesh is the flesh of truth. And unless you eat the flesh of Christ and drink his blood, there is no life in you. And his blood is the drink of truth, and his flesh is the meat of truth. So he prepared a table before us. And the table we're supposed to eat of, he says, "Take, eat, this is my body." Right? The table before us. Are we not one bread and one body? The church. Once again, he says, "Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies." You're going to be amazed at this word. In the presence of mine enemies. In the presence of my enemies. It's the word sarar. It means adversary. But if you look at the definition of this word, it says to bind, to tie up, to be restricted, narrow, scant, or cramped. That's really important. To bind, tie up, to be restricted, narrow, scant, or cramped. Narrow. Remember these words, because I'm going to go over here to chapter 7 in Matthew, and we're going to look at these as well. Oh, "Thou preparest me a table before me in the narrow way." You see that? In the narrow, scant, or cramped way. "In the presence of mine enemies." That would be the narrow way. Look, in the presence of mine enemies. Narrow. "Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over." My cup runneth over. If you come to the Lord and drink of the waters he has, won't fountains of living water come out of your belly? Let's see what this. He anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Runneth over. Saturation. Abundance. Overflows. You see that? Even is translated as hearts. Satisfaction. runneth over. Wealthy. Wealthy in what way? Spiritually wealthy. My cup runneth over. Now, this is an amazing part right here. It says, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Surely goodness, beautiful, agreeable, good. There's none good but God, right? Okay. And mercy shall follow me. Favor, goodness, kindness. There's none good but God. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. This is really important word here. It says, follow me all the days of my life. Well, what does God say he does to every son he receives? He says, to every son I receive, I chase and scourge. It says, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me, to pursue, to chase, to persecute. Surely goodness and mercy shall chase me all the days of my life. You see this? The Lord chases and persecutes and he scourges every son he receives. Think about that. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Only a son dwells in the house of the Lord forever. Think about that word. To pursue, to chase, to persecute. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And we know that all things, good and evil, work together for good to those who love the Lord, to those who are the called according to his purpose. All right. Now we're going to go to Matthew chapter 7, and we're going to look at this and compare verse 5 and 6 to Matthew chapter 7 in 13 and 14. It says, enter ye in at the strait gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Many. We're going to look up that word just so we know. Much, many, often, great in amount. Multitude is being numerous. All right. Many there be which go in thereat, because straight is the gate, straight. Narrow. Didn't we just look at a word that was narrow back there? Straight, narrow, a closely defined path God ordains to travel on to gain his approval. See, straight is the way, straight is the gate, and narrow is the way. So straight means straight and narrow. Straight is the gate, a large door, the entrance. It's not a large door, it's a narrow door. Straight is the gate, and narrow is the way. Let's look at narrow. Sorry. Narrow is the word thalibo, to press, to afflict, to make narrow, strictly by pressure, press upon. I persecute, to press hard, persecute. You see that? Didn't we just look at words that match this over here in this one? In the presence of mine enemies, restricted, narrow, scant, cramped, to tie, to bind up, adversary. And didn't we see this one? Where the goodness and mercy shall follow. Pursue, chase, persecute. Okay, we're going to go back over here to this narrow. This is narrow, thalibo. Properly to rub together, constrict, compress, by press together, figuratively, oppressively afflict, to distress, like when circumstances rub us the wrong way, that make us feel confined, hemmed in, restricted to a narrow place. And this isn't all that's here. Straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth to life, and few there be that find it. See that? Few there be who find it. to learn, to discover, especially after searching. You see, many there are going to be that seek to enter in, but won't be able to. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth to life, and few there be that find it. Few. Few. Little, small, especially in plural, few. Small, hence of time, short of degree, light, slight, little. Few, little, very small. Few there be that find it. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way that leadeth to life. And the Lord chases and scourges every son he receives. You see, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Love you all, brothers and sisters. Hope you have a blessed, wonderful day. Stay strong in the Lord. Jesus loves you.